Yo, welcome back. So today we're going to be terminating 10 120mm single HO7s on the DC output side of this panel. I'm also going to be doing the other ends hopefully, but I won't be able to show you that. And yeah, I'm going to give you a bit of an update on where we're at on the job as well, because a lot of stuff has happened that I haven't made videos on. So yeah, what else? Toby's gone to Australia, so lots of love to him. I'm on the mend, still a little bit under the weather, but I feel a lot better. But yeah, let's run the intro and get to this video. So it's all been happening back here. You can see we've got this bit of ladder. Don't think I showed any of that. And then we've got our 10 HO7s just dipping down into the test cell. And then again, we've got our 600 ladder with 6 185 servos just coming down round and dropping into the test cell again. Loads of tidying up to be done back here, stuff like that. Really is a work in progress, but I'm happy with it. I think it's looking really, really good. Happy with the containment, happy with the way everything's fell and stuff like that. Obviously, you'll know from the previous videos, we got these put away. We actually got the guard back on, and I got those two battery cables, those auxiliary cables, bolted onto the bus bar nicely. Had to cut this out and customize it a little bit. That's all looking sweet. We've ran in these, so there's basically a braking resistor, which is this thing. So this thing will kick out 1500 amps, which is mad. You can see here, it's just like a massive heater. In the event of like an emergency or this needing to shut down, it's just gonna dissipate all of the electricity, which you just burn it. So surprisingly, we've got two 120s coming to this. Got a couple of knockouts low level, so I just need to punch those and get this connected up. We'll probably do that today. So that'll be interesting too. We've also been pretty busy in here. So we've got a bit of ladder coming down. Had to remove this because this weighs 10 tons. So we had to remove that bit of ladder so they could jack it up. But yeah, this is where our 6 185 servos are. And then we've got the other end of our 120 singles as well. Again, we've got this all punched out, and then they just need to get connected onto these bus bars in here. So plenty to crack on with. Pipe fitters have also been in, fitting these. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this panel is actually water cooled. All of the transformers and stuff like that inside the panel are literally water cooled. Yeah, it's pipe work running through it all. Mad. So mad, this panel. But yeah, these guys have just been in fitting. It's lovely, lovely pipe work. Similar sort of spec to us, to be honest. But yeah, that's looking really, really good. So I just started building some tags from my cable craft kit. I was gonna go for like DC, out, pos, neg. I was gonna build a load of them. But I'm literally empty on, yeah, C's and nearly there on D's. So I'm gonna have to go and order, yeah, a load more of them from cable craft. For now, I think I'm gonna leave this, put this on like the finishing list, labeling, snagging, etc. Because I've taken a picture on the iPad and I've just marked up what's what. Initially, we just had brown tape and blue tape, 1 to 5 on each. But yeah, with the way they've sort of fell, they've obviously been glanded like that. The way they're glanded isn't representative of the way they lie when they're lying flat. To keep it alternating between positive and negative while they're laid flat, this is basically what it looks like when they're glanded. This is going to allow me to terminate all of these onto the correct bus bar inside, and then also have a record for later when I put those little cable identification tags on the cables. Let's fit one now so you can see what I'm going on about. Right, so generally with cable tags, you want them reading left to right away from the cable. And then you're just going to fix them to the cable using tie wraps. So we're going to do that now. And then that will basically sit on there like that, which means you can easily identify what this cable is, what it's doing, and yeah, if it needs replacing or it gets damaged or whatever, you just have a reference basically, which aligns with, yeah, everything else that's going on here. Obviously, I'll probably want it facing forwards. Like so, tie wraps on the back. What you're left with is, yeah, just good cable identification. It's It's a nice thing to do. I feel like it sets a good standard, and yeah, I'm going to be doing it for all of the cables that come in and out of this panel. Right, so I'm just preparing everything, and I've just been playing around with these lugs. So these are from Klauk, really nice lugs actually, no inspection hole. This is just what we could get at very short notice, and yeah, M10 size. So I was suspicious that these were only allowed for class 2. We're using like HO7, which is a class 5 cable, but I've just checked the Klauk spec and they can be used with fine stranded cable too. It did specify a specific Klauk crimper. However, I've just sort of ran a test where I've sort of crimped it up, double tapped it, and then cut through it, and you can see it's literally blended the fine stranded copper into just, yeah, like an almost solid conductor, a real good connection all the way through the crimp. You can see both sides there. This is what HO7 looks like when it isn't sort of crimped to smithereens. So yeah, real happy with that, and yeah, happy to use these. Obviously there's a whole suite of engineers on site, electrical engineers, they're more than happy as well. It's just good to check these things really. There's a lot of issues with lugs. I recently done like a bit of self-education on it, and there's lots of different brands, lots of different standards, lots of different ways of doing it, and a lot of confusion basically. So you just want to try and do as much due diligence as you can. I think ideally we would have like these in a dialless crimper rather than a hexagonal one, but yeah, they're sweet. They'll be a real nice connection, so we're going to crack on. So our first one is +1. So the plan is to sort of swoop down, aim for about this bit here, just below the camera where you can see, and then swoop back up again, and I think that's looking pretty good. Yeah, cool. So we'll then just go for this bolt. I'll hang that bolt on there. That's looking sweet. So we want to cut our cable about here. Then mark our lug. So it's fine stranded, you just got to be very careful. Right, we've got that on, we've got no excess copper showing. Now I'm just going to make sure we've got it orientated nicely. That's down there, so now I'm ready to crimp. Just like in our test, we're going to do 2 crimps, one at the top of the barrel, and then one slightly lower. Nice solid connection there, nice double tap. You can see we haven't got any wings on the side of the lug, we've got the numbering imprinted onto the lug. The crimper also gave us the green light too, so I'm happy with that. I can now get ready to heat shrink it. Right, so we're on the DC side of things, so we're shrinking this up red. We've got no inspection holes, so we can literally go tight to the neck of the lug, and then I'm just using the Milwaukee heat gun just while the plug-in one is in use. And there we have it, we've got one dropped in there. So I think I'm gonna wait until the end to bolt them all down, just because, maybe not, but it's gonna get pretty busy in here. But that's, yeah, that's what we're going for basically. Nice, neat connection, nice tight crimp. I need to work out what we're doing for torque on here. There might be a spec on the panel. If not, the smart guys downstairs will be able to give me a torque recommendation for this bolt. So yeah, work out what's going on with that, but that is basically what we're going to have. 5 positives, 5 negatives, and then the earth, I think we can either drop onto this bar here, or there may well be an earth bar running along the top as well. There's certainly something going on up there, so yeah, we should be able to pick up earth in. Right, next up we have positive 2, which is this one here. So we'll get this cut, crimped. Right, so this one's going to want to follow exactly the same. And then it wants to come up. There we go. So that's going to want to get cut about there. Make sure it's orientated the right way. That would be sweet. Right, we have 2 for 2. You can see, yeah, the look that I'm going for. They're looking pretty good. You've obviously seen the process now from start to finish, so I'm going to crack on with probably the next 7 of these, and then we'll catch up when I'm doing the last one and the earth, and I can show you the finished product. Right, 10th one. And then the earth after this. So I've just been sizing it up against the other lugs. Got a bit of a rhythm going. I've smashed these out in about half an hour, which is nice. Just gonna size this about there. Cool. Get that 120 slid on. There we go. That orientation. Go for a double tap. There we go, lovely. Tug test. Shrink on. Heat gun. Sweet. Sweet, so now that's all done. We can yeah, get that bolted down. Yeah. Right, that's that earth put away. Just got to cut those tie wraps, and now we are ready to torque these up. So I've been prescribed a value by the guys downstairs who know far more about this stuff than me, but they want these at 25 newton meters. So we have a spanner on the back, and we'll get these all tightened up to 25. So we'll get this set to 25. There we go. Right, that's been torqued up. That's been torqued up. Now time to get this cover back on. And that is it. Everything restored to normal. So we've got our Perspex cover back on. And that is the DC output side of things done. Right, that's it for this one anyway. I think I'm going to move on to the braking resistor, connecting that up and putting it away in the panel. Now I'm going to move downstairs to do the other end of these 120s. What I need to do, I want to get all that done today, and it is 1:30, so I've got to get moving. I might film some more content today, I might not. I just want to have another good day really, and get this job closer to a finish. As always, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, especially if you're enjoying the content. It's going to keep you up to date with everything I've got coming out. I'll catch you guys on the next one.